The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air in the cozy cafe, mingling with the soft hum of conversations and the occasional clinking of cups. The barista moved with practiced ease, crafting each cup with care and precision. Sunlight streamed through the large windows, casting a warm glow on the bustling scene. The golden rays danced on the polished wooden tables, creating a serene and inviting atmosphere that made the cafe feel like a haven from the outside world. At a small table tucked in a corner, Am nervously tapped her fingers on the table. Her eyes darted around the room, taking in the lively surroundings, but unable to shake the anxiety that gripped her. Her friend P. sat across from her, her expression a mixture of concern and amusement. She watched Am with a knowing look, sensing the turmoil beneath her friend's calm exterior. P. took a sip of her latte, her eyes twinkling with understanding. She knew Am well enough to recognize when something was bothering her, and she was ready to lend a sympathetic ear.
You seem a bit on edge, Am. Anything you want to talk about? Pimo's voice was gentle, inviting Am to open up.
Am sighed, pushing a strand of hair behind her ear. She hesitated for a moment, gathering her thoughts before speaking.
It's this writing project. I just can't seem to get started. Every time I sit down to write, my mind goes blank and I feel overwhelmed.
Pimo nodded sympathetically, her gaze encouraging Am to continue. She knew the struggles of creative work and wanted to offer her support in any way she could. Am glanced at her notebook, filled with half-formed ideas and scribbles. The blank pages seemed to mock her, a constant reminder of her creative block. Pimo reached across the table, giving Am's hand a reassuring squeeze. "We'll figure it out together," she said with a smile, bringing a moment of light-heartedness to the tense conversation.
I overthink everything. Every idea I have feels not good enough, not original enough.
The blank page loomed before her, a daunting obstacle in her creative journey. Fear whispered doubts in her ear, paralyzing her with its insidious grip. Pimo listened patiently, her silence a comforting presence. She understood the torment of the inner critic, the relentless voice that could sabotage even the most promising endeavors.
It's like I'm trapped in my own head. I want to write, I really do, but the fear is crippling.
You know, Am, sometimes the best way to overcome fear is to simply start doing.
Am looked up, a flicker of hope igniting in her eyes. Pimo's words, though simple, struck a chord within her.
Don't get bogged down in the pursuit of perfection. Just start writing, even if it's just a stream of consciousness.
Pimo reached across the table and gently squeezed Am's hand.
Trust me, the more you write, the easier it will become. You'll find your voice along the way.
Section 4, Embracing Imperfection, the Beauty of Mistakes.
But what if I make mistakes?
Am hesitated, her mind still a battleground of doubt and determination.
Mistakes are proof that you're trying. They're opportunities for growth and learning. Embrace the imperfections, Am. They're what make your work unique and authentic.
Pimo smiled, her eyes crinkling at the corners. Am pondered Pimo's words, a sense of relief washing over her. Perhaps perfection wasn't the goal after all. Section 5, The Turning Point, a decision to begin. A newfound determination flickered in Am's eyes. She had been wrestling with self-doubt for far too long, and it was time to make a change. Pimo's words had ignited a spark of courage within her. It was as if a veil had been lifted, revealing a path she'd always known was there but had been too afraid to walk. She realized that overthinking was simply a form of procrastination, a way to avoid the real work of creation. The fear of failure had been paralyzing, but now she understood that the only way to overcome it was to take action.
You're right, Pimo. I've been holding myself back for too long. I need to stop overthinking and just start writing. I need to trust myself and my abilities.
With a deep breath, Am reached for her notebook and pen. The tools of her trade, once intimidating, now felt like extensions of her own hands. The blank page no longer seemed so daunting. It was now a canvas for her imagination, a space to explore and experiment without fear of judgment. Each line she would write was a step towards her dreams. It was now a canvas for her imagination, a space to explore and experiment without fear of judgment. She felt a sense of liberation, knowing that the first step was always the hardest. Pimo smiled, her heart filled with pride for her friend. She'd always believed in Am's potential, and now she could see that belief taking root in Am herself. She knew that Am was capable of great things, and she couldn't wait to see what she would create. The journey had just begun, and the possibilities were endless. Section 6. A toast to new beginnings, the power of taking action.
To new beginnings.
To new beginnings.
As they clinked their cups together, a sense of possibility filled the air. The cafe was alive with the hum of conversations and the clatter of cups, a perfect backdrop for their shared moment of optimism. Am knew that the road ahead might not always be easy, but she was ready to embrace the journey. She had spent countless hours dreaming and planning, and now it was time to turn those dreams into reality. She had taken the first step, and that was all that mattered. With each sip of her coffee, she felt more determined, more focused on the path ahead. The cafe buzzed with life around them, a testament to the power of taking action. Every person there had their own story, their own journey, and their own first steps. In that moment, Am and Pimo were reminded that even the smallest steps could lead to extraordinary destinations. They knew that by supporting each other, they could achieve anything they set their minds to. The power of taking action was not just in the big leaps, but in the small, consistent steps that moved them forward every day.